Before we get into the podcast, I'd like to mention that this is a previous episode that you're watching on YouTube. YouTube uploads are a month late, and you can access the newest episodes on Patreon by pledging $3. In addition, you'll also be able to see my scripts, all the other behind-the-scenes fuckery, and you'll have an exclusive role on the Discord server. So if you feel inclined, you can pledge on Patreon to get access to this podcast and all the other shit. It's not required or anything, but if you like the podcast, and if you like my stuff enough, you can pledge to my Patreon. Thanks for listening. Here's the podcast. Welcome. Happy New Year. This is the January episode. Tyler isn't here this time. It's Dalen.
Hello.
My brother.
I'm Tyler.
Yeah, it is Tyler. Sorry.
Yeah.
And this episode I wanted to talk about both the Game of the Year video and the Doom video, but guess what? Doom video didn't come out yet. It's not out yet. Sorry. But it will come out this month.
But you're still going to talk about it?
Nope.
Oh.
Because it's not out yet. So in terms of Game of the... before that, Game of the Year stuff, and then we'll get into some album stuff, and then games we've been playing recently, as per the usual. Because Dalen's been playing some games, too.
Yeah.
But, let's start with the Game of the Year stuff. So, my 10 nominees, we're not going to go in too much depth, because I already talked about most of my picks on the podcast with Dan.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, in the video. But I'm just gonna gloss over them. Dalen has played a few. I don't know what his nominees are.
I haven't really thought about it too much, but probably most of mine are yours as well.
Yeah.
Do you have them?
I'm bringing them up.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember my own nominees.
We also have our dog as a guest.
And Maggie's here too.
Yeah.
Say hi, Maggie. Into the microphone.
Bark. No, it didn't work.
She got her sniff the microphone. That'd work. Here. What's that, Maggie? She doesn't care. She doesn't care. So, first nominee, Cuphead.
Oh, Cuphead.
Dale and I played this game together, and I don't think much needs to be said about Cuphead.
I love Dark Souls.
Alright, moving on. No, yeah, Cuphead is probably one of the best passion projects I've seen in the industry. Cuphead is a testament to, if you have an idea, and if you're really determined, you can carry it out.
I wish I could make projects like that. Didn't they mortgage their houses?
Yep, they remortgaged their houses. Dan on the podcast was like, "Alright, I get that you're really dedicated, but please don't do that. That's a lot of financial strain." Thankfully, Cuphead sold well, so...
Yeah.
Obviously, what needs to be said that hasn't already been said, right? Cuphead is really well designed, really fun to play. Animation's beautiful. Most of the stuff I've already talked about. We've also got Sonic Mania, which also not much more needs to be said about Sonic Mania. It's pretty good Sonic tribute.
It almost got Sonic back up.
Well,
and then Forces shot it in the chest and buried it.
Forces will probably be forgotten pretty quickly. It's a game. This is the weird thing about Forces, though. Mania, I know everybody knows how good it is, but Forces, the weird thing is, they worked on it for 4 years, supposedly. Since Sonic Lost World came out, they started working on it. And it came out, and it was shit. And they said it wouldn't be short, and it was a short game. You could clear in an hour. That's an exaggeration, but people were saying... I'm specifically was I feel like for the first 3 hours, or for the first 3 years, rather, they were working on the game.
Hours.
For the first 3 years, they were working on the game. They were, twiddling their dicks, and then for the last year, they started working on the game, and then that was more just them procrastinating and drinking, because that's what Sonic Team loves to do, and then they released unfinished game. No. I don't know what happened. They were on a winning streak a while ago, and they flubbed it. Didn't they, Maggie?
I think she wants back.
Okay. No,
Come on. She's
What's
gonna
wrong with you?
kill you.
A Hat in Time's also on the list.
Oh, I loved that game. I was thinking of games that I had on Steam.
I had to keep convincing you to play that, and then you finally did.
I haven't actually beat it yet.
Really?
I have been so focused on getting every single thing up until the final boss.
Yeah.
But definitely, I mean, Odyssey. Wasn't Odyssey released at the same time? What was really Cuphead was.
Cuphead and Hat in Time came out pretty close to each other.
Yeah, so maybe it could have been like sold better if Cuphead had not been released.
They've sold 200,000 copies.
Yeah.
For Hat in Time.
Hat
Cuphead sold 1 million, so
yeah.
it's actually I think they're at 2 million soon.
What can I talk about with Hat in Time? I love the platforming. What problems did I have with it? The only free roam level.
Oh, was it the Alpine Skyline
Yeah.
level?
It seemed too linear with everything. Sure, there were different areas you could explore, but every single path was streamlined, and you would get your thing, and you would go back to the hub, and you would get your thing, and then go back to the hub. You couldn't just like explore around like New Donk City, or what's another free roam, or Mafia Town.
Yeah.
I loved Mafia Town.
Which is weird because Alpine Skyline felt like it was supposed to be the most sandboxy kind of level.
Yeah.
And then they just... I still think that's one of my favorites. But,
I also love the visuals, even if they were done on a budget.
yeah. Sorry, my dog is just... She's on the floor. Looking at the mic, looking at us. Yeah, A Hat in Time. If you haven't played it yet, if you like 3D platformers, I think Hat in Time is going to be
A Cappy in Time.
a worthy investment. It really is. It's only $30, and it's worth every penny. Breath of the Wild is up next, so if you saw the video, you'll know that's my game of the year. But Breath of the Wild. Fucking, do I really need to say anything else about Breath of the Wild?
Just look up Breath of the Wild on Google, and you'll find everything we want to say about it. Except
Not
for the
even
fact
that.
that it's Dark Souls.
It's that every. Excuse me.
Because people say that it's Dark Souls, but it's not.
It's not Dark Souls.
It's not.
Nobody says it's Dark Souls. What? Except for me that one time. Because I was just kidding around. I was like, wow, this is Dark Souls. But there actually are aspects that remind me of Dark Souls.
Peanut brittle weapons.
Do you like the durability system?
Yes.
Okay.
If weapons didn't break, you would just use the same weapons all the time, and it would be boring.
Maggie, you need to get out of here. Yeah. You need to learn to let go. That was something I think Vinny said when he was streaming. Because you gotta learn to let go.
What problems did I have with Breath of the Wild? Not many.
Beth of the Wild?
It. Beth of the Wild.
Are you sure you know what your game of the year is?
Like there's Odyssey and there's Breath of the Wild.
Between those two.
Yeah, and it's hard.
Speaking of that, Odyssey is on the list too. And once again, not much needs to be said. Although, you know what? The post game is shit. It's awful.
So bad.
Dalen just realized Dalen was like not convinced when I told him that, and now he knows.
Like, okay, if you're trying to go, there's one situation where you're trying to go for 100% while you're playing the game, and you get every single moon and every single kingdom and every single coin, and then you get the post-game stuff, and it's like, why do I need to go back? What did I do to deserve
The other thing is when you use the moon rocks, all of the moons get put on your map, and it's like, oh, for fuck's sake. It's like you were playing Breath of the Wild, and they tell you where the Master Sword is. Like,
I would enjoy like the hints from the Talkatoo guy.
Yeah. Those are fine.
Those are better than just telling you
if
where
you're
they
stuck.
are.
If you're stuck, you can go to Hint Toad, and he will show you where it is, but he won't tell you how to get it. Well, I mean, to be fair, the moon rocks don't. But at the same time, the moon rocks involuntarily tell you where the moons are. So it's just
Yeah.
like, there's nothing contextual about the moons. Like, they don't change the world that much, except for like the Koopa freerunners and stuff like that, the mini games.
Yeah, I like those.
I love them too. Yeah, it's one of the things I love about Mario Odyssey is the movement. So
One thing I hated about collecting everything, you always miss one batch of coins, and then you spend hours trying to find them, and then you look up a walkthrough and you hate yourself.
I don't know why you went for the coins.
Because I want everything. Maggie just farted. Oh, come on, go.
Yeah, screw off. You've lost your chance now. You've stunken up the room. I love our dog, but she is a stinky bitch sometimes.
But yeah, I wanted each souvenir and thing.
Yeah.
And it wasn't as tedious as getting every moon, so why not? And then I figured out, oh, the coins are just going to be in one place that I haven't looked.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I've been to all of these places thousands of times. But yeah, getting the purple coins and moons the first time around is fun. Post-game stuff, it's just like finding a needle in a haystack.
Yeah. It's poopy. Super Mario Odyssey is a great game though.
Yeah.
It's just the post game. Mario has always had bad post game though. 3D since he entered 3D. Mario 64 I wouldn't even say had post game, cuz you could get whatever stars you want as long as you met the number. And all the other stars were there for you to get to add up to that 70 star count. But we'll say Sunshine onwards, the post game is well, I like Sunshine's post game. Galaxy's no. Galaxy 2's definitely not.
What happened post-game with those?
Galaxy 1 had the purple coin missions.
Oh.
And those were they were like just, hey, you like 100 coin missions? No, here you go.
Oh.
And then Galaxy 2 was green stars. And 3D Land and 3D World were probably the worst of it all, at least to me.
Oh my god, 3D World? Oh, I had a lot of time on my hands, like a couple years ago.
I like all of these games.
Yeah,
there's not a single bad 3D Mario. I like them all.
It's just when they force you to play through the game 5 times in order to 100% it. No,
it's very good. Unless you have friends.
That's
not even that. Like Dalen and I were doing it, and I just got so sick of it. I don't know why you did it.
I stopped. I honestly could finish it, but that would take so long.
Yeah. But that's Mario Odyssey.
It's not worth it.
Nope. Wolfenstein 2 is next, but I'm not gonna talk much about this one because Dalen's in the middle of the New Order.
Yeah.
I'm dying while I talk. But is good. Gameplay's better than Wolfenstein The New Order, but story is not. The half of the story is better than The New Order. Half of it. But other than that, Wolfenstein 2 The New Colossus is a very good game.
Is that the one where Hitler shoots the guy from Arizona?
Yep. No, mein Führer, I'm from Arizona. I love that cutscene. It became a meme and I'm so proud. I don't know why I'm so happy about Hitler shooting a guy, but it was so funny. Timing. No, mein Führer. He's like, I loved it, Mr. Hitler, super good. And he's like, Mr. Hitler? He's like, you'll refer to me as mein Führer. And he's like, I am so sorry, mein Führer.
I'm from Arizona.
I'm from Arizona. Dog came back. Go away. Go! You can't speak. You're not part of the podcast.
What other good games came out this year?
Well, the other nominees were, ARMS, I felt was underrated. I liked ARMS more than Spoon this year.
I love Splatoon, but it gets boring.
I think Splatoon 2 needed more new stuff. I like Salmon Run. I like the new stuff they added, but Splatoon 2 is too much of the same. In the best way they could have done it, but it's still Splatoon again, Splatoon needs to be a little different.
Spleen,
yeah. It's going to be called Spen. SP3N. That's what I'll abbreviate it to, Spen.
But
But Arms was something
Yeah,
new.
Arms, really good. Um, it's really satisfying to get better at the game.
A lot of people don't give it enough credit.
Yeah, they're just
It's
like
way more. It has way more depth
Nintendo
to it.
fighting game.
Well, it has way more depth to it than people think. They're just like, oh, rock'em sock'em robots, haha. But it really is better than that. There's a lot more to it that I made a whole video on this. We talked about the video last episode, so. And I've talked about Arms enough at this point, but it's very good. Metroid is also on here. Dalen has not played Metroid yet. Samus
I have
Returns,
not.
but he did play M2R.
I loved
A
it.
M2R.
The best non-Metroid game. Metroid game.
It's AM2R was my favorite games last year. 2016 rather.
Really?
Yep.
I liked it a lot.
I liked
100%
Samus Returns a little bit more because of various things that they did, like changes to level design. Boss fights were a little more fun sometimes.
Is the parry fun to use?
The parry's very fun. The Aeon abilities, I think that's how you say it. Those are really fucking awesome. They should keep those whenever they make a new 2D Metroid because those are some of the best things they've ever added in Metroid.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but it
Okay,
sounds good.
so for example, there's the scan pulse, which shows you breakable blocks and other things in a certain area, so you don't have to run around bombing everything.
Thank God.
There's an upgrade to your shot, which you can drain. You'll drain your Aeon energy. Everything runs on a single meter, so if you switch to the shots and then use a scan pulse, that'll drain your energy. The triple shots drain your energy. There's also the armor that drains your energy instead of your health. Like if you put on the armor, you can run through electric
That reminds me
seaweed
of,
or whatever it was called.
When I was originally playing through Metroid Fusion, I absolutely loved the game.
Yeah.
And then I hit a wall, and I couldn't get past something.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find the bombable. There was a section in which there were two walls beside you, and if you didn't know the exact place to bomb, you would be stuck. And it made me very angry. So I dropped the game and then picked it back up and beat it.
If there's one more 3DS game you play, then it's Metroid Samus Returns. Like,
okay,
this is pretty much the dying game. Like, this is the last game to come out on the 3DS that's gonna matter.
But I still like the 3DS.
It's a
like
dead
the
meme
Switch
at this
better,
point.
but
The 3DS is a dead meme.
yeah.
Like, it's been out since 2011. The Switch is out, which means the 3DS has no more purpose.
I spent like $4 on one of those key arcade machines trying to get a new 3DS XL.
So that's Metroid.
Mm-hmm.
Nier Automata.
Memetroid.
Nier Automata. Dalen's played this one more than me.
Yes, way more. I beat the... Okay, spoiler alert, there's multiple endings. But I beat the first one. And, I really liked it. It was like free roaming and 2D and 3D, and there was range combat that wasn't the greatest. But it was still good.
It was just during combat. If you don't feel like getting up close and personal with some boys, you could just blast them.
Yeah, okay. This is a nitpick, but a lot of the enemies fire the same giant purple projectile, and sure, it's easy to see and you know what it does, but yeah. I thought they could have used different ones. So the game just wanted me to I wanted to just play Bayonetta while playing the game because I wanted more combos. I wanted it to be more focused on
the combat isn't of Platinum's best, but
it still fits the game and everything.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's just it's not like the best Platinum. It's not like Bayonetta. It's not like Vanquish. It's
like they focus more on the world and the free roaming and.
If you hear that, that's Maggie biting air.
They focus more on the world and the story and free roaming aspect, and the side quests too.
Yep,
it had a bunch of side quests.
The world was good.
The only problems I had were like the ending came way too quick for me. I was just
it's meant for
sure.
multiple playthroughs.
Yeah, I know, and I need to get to those playthroughs, but I was just pretty surprised because I wanted to do a bunch of side quests, but I was busy doing the final activities before the end of the game, and I didn't realize it. Um, I guess that's kind of my fault for going for the main path instead of doing those things first. But what was another problem I had? Oh yeah, I cheesed the final boss. Since you can shoot and not have to go up to somebody, I just abused his patterns and I shot at him from afar.
Yeah.
There was this one point where you need to survive while basically it's a time limit before you win the fight. And I just ran around the boss and he walked forward very slowly and I shot at him for like 10 minutes straight until he died. But yeah,
I liked how
that game.
desolate the open world felt. Like
Mhm.
it's rare for me to like that kind of thing, but they did it well. You know,
Another
it's a very good it's different from Platinum standard
yeah.
lineup, and it's worth
They
a
tried
play.
something new and threw a lot of things together, but it's still a good game.
Mm-hmm. During that, Maggie was sniffing the microphone.
Let's hope that picked up. Oh, another nitpick.
What's that, Maggie?
It's set so far in the future, yet the architecture looks like it's from now. So
I think it's set like the world went to shit around when we were alive, like all of us, and then in the future they come back to this planet like Earth. Wow.
If that's if that's how they meant it to be, then that makes more sense. But yeah,
Maybe I'm wrong. Last game on our list here. I think I'm actually. Is it the last? I might have missed something.
that doesn't sound like 10. What we talked about, was it?
Nope, that was 10. The last of the lineup here is PUBG, and Dalen's computer turns into a toaster when he plays it. And I know most people are sick of hearing about this game by now because it sold 24 million copies, right? And it just came out of early access, so.
Go on. There you go.
You know, it's people are sick of it, but it is really good. And I explained why at this point. I have a video. It's in the Game of the Year video.
I've blue screened like 3 times.
His poor computer. He's trying to run games that he can't run. This is the problem.
And I try my best, and it runs for a little bit, and it freezes occasionally, and then it just decides to die. And it makes me sad because I want to play that game.
You might be able to play the 1.0 update.
Maybe.
Speaking of that, if people are still complaining about it not being optimized, the 1.0 update is fucking glorious.
It's so much better?
Yeah, it runs so much better now.
Because I can run something like Overwatch.
I think PUBG is a little demanding.
Yeah.
But that's not the game. That's not your PC's fault. I think that's the game's fault. Because it's getting there. It's optimized now, but it still has a little bit more work to do.
It sounds like you'd be able to run something like Fortnite so much easier. I have no idea what Fortnite is about.
I didn't like it as much as Pub.
You played it?
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like Pub.
It's kind of cute, you know, building your forts in the middle of the thing, but like, just like play something. I like playing something that's a lot more focused on just you survive, you loot, you survive. I don't care about any of the extra goodies, you know.
And weren't there like cosmetic things in that game that you could buy? I mean, there are
a lot of games do. Overwatch has cosmetic things that you can buy.
Yeah. Well, you can't buy it. You buy a chance to.
I'm gambling. No, I don't know. That's another debate. The loot box debate.
Boot locks.
Do you think it's gambling?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. You heard it here first. It's gambling.
Yes, my opinion is right.
I think they illegalized loot boxes in a certain country recently.
What? Really?
Yeah. Because it's being declared as gambling in a lot of places. So.
I don't think you need to go that far, but.
I mean, gambling in a T-rated game, gambling you have to be 19 here in Canada. You know? And teen rated, you have to be 13, but it's not a restricted rating. So kids that are like 8 are playing Overwatch, you know?
Wait, Shadow of Mordor came out when? Was
2014.
2014?
Oh, Shadow of War was the one with loot boxes. That's what
Yeah.
you're thinking of. That came out this year, and I haven't played it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if I actually don't know if I'd put it on my list because I heard that it was not much of an improvement on Shadow of Mordor, and that's really disappointing because Shadow of Mordor is amazing.
It's like,
it was the whole
Legend
loot box
of
deal.
Murder, Breath of the Orcs.
I heard that the loot box deal was kind of stupid, but the game was alright. So one day I'll play Shadow of War, but I'm not in the mood right now. Shadow of Mordor took up a lot of my time.
What are some other mentions for?
Well, I had a couple honorable mentions like Neo. I had the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy.
Haven't played either of them.
I had Miitopia. I had what else did I have on there? Spark the Electric Jester. Splatoon 2 was on there as well in the nomination or the mentions. You know, I had stuff like that.
What other?
Yonoid 2.
I don't know.
That game is good. It's good.
I don't know about that.
It's good. I swear it's good. It's actually really good. It's like a physics-based 3D platformer. It's really good.
Yonoid.
Not the NES one. That one's, you know, Yonoid on NES. I mean, the one that they made in a month by a bunch of people, dedicated people. They got together. They made a 3D platformer in a month, and it was fun as heck. It's very much worth playing. I swear it's good. I wouldn't have put it on my honorable mentions if it was a meme game and nothing else.
What was that Jak and Daxter clone you played?
Oh, Skylar and Plux.
Did that come out this year?
Mm-hmm. Why else would I put it on there?
Oh, you did. How was that? How long was it?
It was only like 2.5 hours, 3 hours. It was very short, and it needed more time to like flesh out its ideas, but it was a good game. I like playing it. Except for the time when they referenced Miley Cyrus.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
There's a wrecking ball, and Plux is just like, I came in like a wrecking ball.
Oh.
And I know that's a meme in the speedrunning community right now. For that game. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty much the Game of the Year stuff. I've talked about it already in fucking 3 hours in, you know, thick length on Dan's podcast. But that's the Game of the Year video in a nutshell. It was a great year. A lot of games. This year doesn't... I don't know. What are we getting? Kingdom Hearts 3. We might get Bayonetta 3 and Prime 4.
Is Spelunky 2 coming out this year?
I think. So Spelunky 2 might be coming out this year. I don't know.
What else are we getting?
Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yeah. I looked at the trailer. It's not like the Xenoverse games, which just look like 3D models and gross.
No, FighterZ, yeah, it looks like the show. Yeah. It's scary. Like sometimes there are times I can't tell that it's a 3D game.
They didn't show enough actual gameplay, I think. Though.
Well, there's more gameplay now.
Yeah.
Yes, Maggie, I agree. That's the Game of the Year video, though. No Doom video this time. Next month, though, we'll talk about the Doom video. Maybe something else, too, if I manage to shit another video out somehow.
I'm trying to think of other games I would recommend. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot. This next part is, Red Vox released another light in December after our podcast recording. And Dalen heard it.
Yeah.
I've heard it a lot now. I've heard it quite a bit. Sorry if you hear clicking. I'm fiddling with the Pro Controller for the Switch.
Oh, I was gonna say Hyper Light Drifter, but that was 2016.
Yeah.
It's a good game.
Maggie's scratching it.
Anyway, another light.
Yeah, another light. So this is Red Vox. If you don't know who Red Vox is, it's Vinny from Vinesauce, the drummer Mike.
Vinesauce.
He also streams Mike, Jabroni Mike. Then there's Joe and Bill. And Maggie as well. No. And they released their first album in March 2016. Very good. Most people have heard that.
Which was What Could Go Wrong.
Yep.
There she goes.
I'm gonna play.
Atom Bomb.
I'm gonna briefly play a sample from Atom Bomb right now. Yeah, wow, hey, that's editing. And yeah, that's what could go wrong. They also released Blood Bagel, and
Oh God, play a sample.
yeah. Blood Bagel is more of a joke album, but it's really good.
The names of the songs.
Yeah, my favorite
The
name
lyrics.
is. There's a song on here that's just called "Fuck." So
It's not classy in any way.
no, yeah, no, they just wanted to have a fun time,
Yeah.
and they did. But Another Light's their actual like follow up to What Could Go Wrong, and it's very good. So we're gonna give you a little bit of a review here. Not really a review, but
I like the album cover a lot.
yeah. So Another Light is
More alternative than the last album.
it also seems a lot sadder. I guess you
Yeah.
could put it.
Lesson.
It's a lot more personal, I think.
Mm.
And as much as I want to say Binya, just go back to playing shoot games and Binyor. But no, his music's great.
Yeah, I
So
loved this album.
first I'm gonna mention that In a Dream ends on the album version with like a weird little dreamscape kind of thing, which I'll play right now. It's like it's really cool. I listened to it a lot and I was like, oh, this is nice. It's kind of a weird way to end the album, but it's really nice to follow up with In a Dream with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then Another Light starts like this. So immediately I was like, "Oh my god!" When I started listening to the album, while he was leading up to the release of Another Light, he released a few singles, but we'll talk about them when we get to them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Another Light is a really good opening song. Like that's the title song, and it's well, it already starts sad, but it sounds like he's being told to frame his mind, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
this was like him growing up or something like that.
I really like the line, define the rules by a state of mind.
Yeah.
Um,
This is something that I've been told a lot growing up too. Because I'd always have these hissy fits when I was younger, and I was like, everything's poo poo. I'll play video games. Forget about the world.
yeah, I think I like that line so much because it's like whenever I give advice or I'm given advice, it's just saying like you're in this state of mind that you need to change.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's so many like rules, as it says in the line,
Yeah.
or things that I need to worry about, but it's just the way I'm thinking.
Yeah. This kind of bridges into everything that the album goes into, right? It's the next song is Settle for Less, and it's very much another kind of like there's no lyrics on Apple Music, so we can't really give you an overview right now. Dylan just fucking played it for a sec. It's by the way, Settle for Less is one of my favorite songs on the album, and
yeah, it's really good.
Obviously, this is kind of scratching the surface. It's not the most lyrically like advanced song. That's not advanced isn't the right word. Lyrically deep.
Oh, okay. Whatever. We can't find the words either.
It's not the most lyrically deep of the album, but the song itself is really well done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I wish we could actually
and it scratches
the
the surface though. What's the next one? Sorry, Memories Lie. Yeah, Memories Lie and Tell Me are both. They're getting there. I'd have to listen to both of them again right now just to give you a bit over. Oh no, we got the lyrics right here. So
Mm,
It's hard to decide. For me, I'm finding it a hard time deciphering Memories Lie. Every time I listen to it, it means something different. I thought it was about a breakup. I thought it was about, a bunch of other stuff. But the thing is, some of the best music is open to interpretation. Bohemian Rhapsody. Nobody
yeah.
fucking knows what that's about. Not even Queen knows what that's about. So,
and then you get songs like they don't even know what they're talking about, and they don't want it to mean anything. Like,
I want to ride my bicycle.
or
I want to ride my bike.
You are the Eggman.
That's
I
the
am the
Beatles.
Walrus. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's still, it has no meaning basically.
Well, that's debatable. Or it's
It
open to
could.
interpretation.
Yeah. This
Maybe
one,
it has a meaning and we're just goofing.
Yeah,
But,
I think this has a meaning.
Memories Lie. Yep, and I just can't put my finger on it right now.
Think
But that's pretty cool.
a rose tinted tomb, because you hear people say rose tinted when they're talking about old memories that you have nostalgia for.
Mm-hmm.
Rose
tint. Yeah, that was a really good way of putting it too.
Yeah, I think that's linked to.
So it's about a lot of things. I think this is more about Vinny growing up. There's a lot of things that this album is about. It's actually kind of fucking scary. Some of it is actually relatable, which we're not into yet, but I'll get to it.
Next one is Tell Me.
Yeah. So, Tell Me, I don't remember much about what I thought about this one. I remember liking the song, of course, but I don't remember.
Oh, I think this person is basic. This person.
Sorry, this one was the one that was, I think, about a breakup.
He's like wondering what he did wrong or what he can do to be better.
Yeah. So.
Where I need to go, but I want you to help me. Tell me what I need to know.
Mm-hmm. I think after this is I'm So Happy and I'm So Sad, right?
Yeah.
I saw that on the track list when they released the track list, and I was like, "Nani?" Like, I was so confused.
Where are the lyrics for I'm So Happy?
I'm so happy 'cause today is a Nirvana song. Something, something.
I don't know.
This is Vinny, I think, self-deprecation. And then that's what happens. I'm So Sad is, that's one of the songs that I thought was a little weaker than the other songs on the album. I didn't
like it all that much. It's still good, but just the opening line that I'm so sad because I never ever really had the right to be.
Yeah. This is what I think. Those two songs, this is where I think I kind of realized what the theme of the album was. The singles gave me an idea, but this is a lot like, okay, say you're a teenager, right? A lot of us go through the same emotions, right? Feeling alone, feeling depressed for seemingly no reason. Like, they don't have a reason to be depressed. They have a great life, But as it turns out, there are a lot of things that can go wrong that people dwell on.
What could go wrong?
What could go wrong? Everything. What did go wrong? So, that the first album was what could go wrong. This is what did go wrong. It's there's a lot that this album's about, but I think that's the main thing. It's very much like growing up and having these kinds of emotions. There's other things in there, but we haven't gotten to the thick of it yet. I think there is a part where it gets pretty heavy.
Let's see if.
Sorry, the next one, Dalen, you can go through the track list. I don't know what you're doing.
Next one is Memento Mori.
Memento Mori is one of my favorites on the album as well. So, yeah. Could it be the presence of memory? Yeah, it's a very well put together song. I can't really put my finger on.
I love the song in general, but I mean, I can't put the lyrics to
Some
the
of it,
meaning.
some of it's like I can't interpret it, but you know what? I'm not a music critic. Like I'm much
Yeah.
more better at. I'm much more better. See, there you go.
Much better.
I'm better at critiquing games and movies. Music is, if I were to try critiquing music, it would be with Red Vox. It's something I'm comfortable with.
Like I love music, but I haven't studied it
Mm-hmm.
or poetry or anything, so I wouldn't be able to.
Memento Mori is a great song though.
Who knows though? Maybe he has a completely different idea for what he wants to say.
Yeah, maybe this is completely wrong. You know,
made a good album.
but some people listening to this might have felt the same way about it. Anyway, so let me go back to the track list.
Let's see what's up next. From the Stars.
Okay, From the Stars is where I think things start to get a little heavier. So this is where like it's very unhinged. So earlier I mentioned he felt like he was talking about a breakup, you know, and the loneliness kind of set in throughout the album and stuff like that, and a lot of emotions were addressed. From the Stars, especially leading up to the end of the song, you could tell.
The less you say, the more you show. The less you show, the more you disappear.
Yeah. So there are a lot of lyrics throughout, and then the climax is just fucking Vinny going crazy. He's like, don't leave me stranded here.
The theme of like space and stars was really cool to attribute to that sort of meaning.
It's From the Stars is where I think the heaviness begins. Hate to describe. Whoa.
Oof.
Rub Your Eyes. I don't remember listening to as much as the other songs. So
should we play it right now?
Not right now. No.
Okay. Because I can't. There's no lyrics that I can pull up because Apple Music's weird.
You know, a lot of it's about recuperation as well. You know, like I said from the beginning, like with Another Light, I've been told frame your mind in another light and stuff like that, and see, you know, how you see every day as a choice and stuff like that. But
it's really hard to take that sort of advice, though.
It's hard to take that sort of advice, and I think that's what the album's about for the most part.
I get that advice, and I give that advice all the time, but I feel like when I say that to people, I also have to say, I know it's incredibly hard to do that, but you need to find a way, and you need to dedicate yourself to trying to think in a different way. Sure, I can give advice and tell you to see things in another light.
Yeah.
But I can't change your way of thinking. Only you can.
This is good material. I'm gonna fucking use that in the video. But that's exactly how I felt. So I might have just new video leaked, but seriously, I considered writing a video about Another Light. What could go wrong? I thought about it, but I was like, I don't think I need to. This time, I think I should. There aren't many comprehensive analyses of Vinny's music, and I feel like he'd like that. He'd like to see something like that, you know?
Or if they miss the entire point.
And then he's like, actually... I thought of a character one time called Actually. That's the name of the character, and he just contradicts everything you say with actually, and then it'll say something.
According to the encyclopedia of...
According to Wikipedia, Darth Vader is from Star Trek. You know? Something like that. You'd be a contrarian like that. So that's a good character. Anyway, After Rub Your Eyes, I think is Reno, right?
Yeah.
Reno... This is my favorite song on the album.
I don't know what I was...
It's either Reno or In the Garden. And these were two singles that both released. From the Stars was also one that released in January.
I love In the Garden, Memento Mori, and Another Light, or Settle for My Last. But anyway, Reno starts off with Waking Up.
Reno is hard to interpret for me. Vinny said he's never even been to Reno, by the way. So I don't think Mike's been to Reno either. And I don't get this song, but it's I think it's my favorite on the album, just because of how it sounds. It's fucking cool. But I don't get it. But I think after the end of From the Stars, things started to go in a very strange direction for this album, and then it closes off in a really nice way. So Reno is probably a good summation of that.
After this?
No, this is after Rub Your Eyes. But
it seems like Rub Your Eyes should go after Reno, because Reno sounds like
no, Reno Rub Your Eyes should go after In the Garden.
Because in this,
no, you know what, like, Vinny, which one should where should this song go on the album?
I don't know.
He's probably like, it goes there for a reason, you bitch.
Shut up and listen to my music.
Yeah,
give me money.
That's not what he would say at all.
No, I know.
Vinny, Vinny was fine with people torrenting his music. I remember seeing that, and I was like, oh man. But
they don't have.
I don't get Reno. In the Garden, I do understand.
Reno sounds like just being unhealthy in the cycle of knowing it's bad for you to, like, you wake up, all you can remember is black and red. That's what it says.
Can't remember nothing but the colors, black and red. Black and red.
And
you know,
pounding in my head so loud it could explode. So obviously, not having a very good day. But then he heads back to Reno. So it's just a cycle of.
I think it's just a
living the wrong way.
Yeah. This was more, I think, where he could start drinking and stuff. That part of his life, you know. So his teenage years were leading up to this, and now we're at the like adult life.
Yeah.
I don't know if Vinny had a drinking problem. He mentioned that he did drugs at some point in his life, and he stopped pretty quickly. I don't remember if he said he stopped smoking, but you know, he's not a perfect human being. No person is. And I love this album because it establishes that he's not, like, he's a very flawed person that went through a lot because of his his choices and stuff.
What could go wrong?
And then after Reno, we get In the Garden, right? In the Garden is very much clear with what it's like. In the Garden, I think, is the most relatable to me.
That's all I could glean from Reno, but
yeah, I think that's.
What do you think about In the Garden?
In the Garden is like it's okay. So fuck. It's oh my god, I'm at a loss for words right now. I had it in my head a second ago. I was ready to talk about it, and now it's gone. Stale and Save Me.
I think. Well, obviously, it says in the song that this person is hiding away from things in their life.
I think it's because they made. He isolates himself, and he makes mistakes, and he doesn't face them.
Pushing the blame on other people. What's the
So this is the part of the album that I was talking about, right? Sorry, Maggie.
What's the actual garden mean? Oof. That's a lot of
people that fall asleep listening to these podcasts are like gonna fucking hate me. Alright, continue, Dylan. I'm gonna solve this.
Oh god. There's a sort of, I don't know what I would call the garden. Like, I don't know what I would say it symbolizes.
You know, Reno is a weird kind of song lyrically, so I think In the Garden, like the garden's such symbolism. Very strange choice of symbolism, but it's a really good way of talking about this kind of subject matter that we discussed just now. As for the rest of the songs, I think after this is just closing off the album. Vinny is in a better place now. You know?
I'm reading through the lyrics now, and it looks like he starts with trying to do a good thing by making this new garden for himself, and then he messes something up, and something goes wrong with it, but he doesn't want to face his mistake, so he retreats, and then the garden becomes overgrown, and his mistakes are basically too much to avoid at
Yeah.
this point. Where the weeds are now growing free, overgrown now.
It's no longer a fantasy.
Oh yeah, and the end of the song said, "But it's too late. By the time that I've realized, I can't see now because the dirt is up to my eyes."
Yeah.
So he can't push the blame on other people. He has to face his mistakes, sort of thing.
And then that leads into where they close it off. You know, where Vinny's in a better place. Well.
What's next? Forgive and forget.
Yep. And burn a picture.
Just those song titles should
Yeah.
be able to tell you.
I think that In the Garden is such an amazing fucking way to bridge the two extremes, you know? Because in that part of the album, I talked about how heavy things were getting for Vinny. I don't know what, and this might not just be Vinny, this might be other members of the band, you know? This could be Mike, because Mike mostly wrote Reno, you know? This might not just be Vinny, even though I associate a lot of Red Vox with Vinny. It's not just him, right?
Just because we know Vinny because of his streams and videos and whatnot. But yeah, I respect everybody in this band. I love their music.
I don't have much to say about Forgive and Forget and Burn a Picture. Sorry.
It's more there just to give a break after In the Garden, I think.
I've already said what I think.
There's a lot of repeating. There's a lot of space in between lyrics. There's
healing.
Not that much like heavy sounds. It's just smooth, and the lyrics aren't even that loud or prominent.
Yeah. Burn a Picture ends with what sounds like radio static, and remember what I said about In a Dream's ending. Burn a Picture's radio static creeps me out, and I'll tell you why. Considering the themes that Another Light dealt with, Burn a Picture's ending makes me really worried about the third album, and we're not worried in the sense of its quality, but worried in the sense that it's gonna be even darker. Yeah. Which would be fucking awesome. It'd be really cool if I was right about that. But the dreamscape seemed like he was in a good place, but clearly I was wrong, and Another Light was not about happy fun times. Very much not like that.
Joy. What would you say the meaning of Burn a Picture is? I could be wrong, but at the end, the fact that he's repeating.
I think this is him trying to
console himself.
And also, just as he was told when he was younger, or at the beginning of the album, you know, frame your mind, see things in another light. He realizes that how to frame his mind like that, and he's been able to get over a lot. He's been able to forgive and forget. And Burning a Picture is very much just putting the shit away, throwing it in a chest, and throwing away the key, swallowing it, pooping it out with your Thanksgiving dinner.
That's,
you know?
I think there could be another way of interpreting it, like the fact that he's repeating to himself. It doesn't sound like there's a different person doing it this time.
Yeah.
Just the fact that he's repeating, there's another light, I can see this in a different way. And then it cuts to radio static. Maybe it's just that way of thinking isn't working for him. Like,
maybe
repeating, there's another way I can deal with this, but I'm just not finding it.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
The subjectivity of art is a bitch sometimes when you're trying to be cohesive in a podcast, but it's true. So that's Another Light.
Yeah.
That's a good album. It's a very good album. Did you listen to any more Tame Impala, by the way?
No, I didn't.
No. Okay. Well, we won't talk about Tame Impala today then. Good band though. But Another Light was much better than What Could Go Wrong, and I was surprised to see how much better it was compared to What Could Go Wrong because I love that album.
I want the third one now.
The Another Light is darker. It's more instrumentally sound. It's much more fun to interpret when you listen to it, and it's very diverse too. Instrumentally, it's very there's a lot of different sounds in there. Like Reno sounds different. In the Garden sounds different. From the Star sounds different.
Well, those are all the singles.
Those are all the singles. Memento Mori sounds pretty different. Settle for Less is pretty cool in how it sounds. Another Light was a cool way to cap things off. It's really depressed sounding.
Yeah, the it didn't sound as enthusiastic. Not in like a bad way.
Mm-hmm.
But it fit the album. It kind of got around with I'm So Sad.
I'm so sad because I never really had the right to be.
Yeah, but I love the album. And
it's a very good album.
I don't think there's another way to interpret the radio static though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm looking forward to what the
future
album is
holds.
gonna have.
Red Vox. Good job, Vin. Good job, Mike. Especially Mike. His drumming on the album was really good.
Yeah.
Mikey, can you teach me how to drum good? So the last of it we're going to talk about is just the games we've been playing recently. I played Doom 3.
It was not...
Okay, it was good.
Perfect.
But it was not Doom. I'll tell you why. This transition to survival horror for Doom kind of defeated the purpose of a lot of Doom. Doom was very much you are making the demons afraid of you, instead of being afraid of the demons.
You are
the predator. And having these like claustrophobic areas was really inappropriate for a Doom game. I mean, sometimes it's really cool, but they are all over the place in Doom 3. There are only a few super arena-like levels, and the game only really picks up into something that feels like Doom when you go to Hell.
At the end.
Yeah. Hell is way close to the end. It's alright, right? Doom 3 is narrative focused, it's very lore focused, and the thing with the secrets is you always have to listen to some idiot talk and then listen it to say if they have a code, and then you go into a vault, enter the code, boom. You have to listen to an audio log every single time you want to go into a secret and get some ammo. No. Doom was never about that. And the thing is, if ever I wanted to go into one of the vaults in a level, I'd Google it instead of listening to the audio log. I'd have like a list of codes or something, because it's so much faster than listening to the damn log. The codes never change.
I loved the fact that you could shoot the scientists that help you.
That was pretty cool. That was very much like Doom. Like, I don't care. I like that you have that choice, too. The scientist is like, I can help you. Here, let me do this. I'm going to open the door for you. And then he opens the door, I shoot him, and then I move on. Doom 3 has a lot of ups and downs. You could tell that Doom was going in a shit direction, though, with that. Because Doom 4 got cancelled, or reworked, rather, with the new Doom reboot that we all know and love. Doom 4 was going to be like Call of Duty, with demons in it.
Ew.
Yeah. And it wasn't very good. But Doom 3, for what it's worth, I think Doom 3 is worth a play. Like, Doom 3 is not as good as the classics, and it doesn't hold a candle to the most recent Doom game, the reboot on...
I love that game.
Still haven't tried them on everything. It even came out on the Switch recently.
It doesn't look as good as the other ones, but...
It's a miracle that the Switch can run that game.
Yeah.
And Wolfenstein 2 is coming out on the Switch as well. So...
Kid friendly.
It's
Nintendo.
The Switch is a miracle of technology. The thing's a tablet, and it can run Doom.
What are some other games? Oh,
You're playing Dishonored, right?
Yeah, I've been playing Dishonored, not for that long, but I'm not the best at that game yet. I love immersive sims from what I've played of them.
Yeah.
Just go watch Mark Brown's video about immersive sims. I love his videos.
Hi, I'm Hamish Black, and welcome to Game
No,
Maker's
that's
Toolkit.
wrong guy.
Hi, I'm Hamish Black, and welcome to King K's well-deserved Floodcast.
So, in Dishonored, there's so many fun abilities. I haven't used all of them because I'm just in the beginning of the game, pretty much.
Yeah.
But, there's notes you can find scattered around, and I like the fact that it has a bunch of world building like that.
Yeah.
And things that you can find and read if you're interested. Like, here's an example of a good time I used notes. I went into a kennel, like, for a bunch of rabid dogs that the guards would use, and I didn't even know the kennel was in that level that I was playing. I was just exploring, and I went around the kennel and I found this note that said, "There's a stash I hid for you, and if you're like too stupid to remember the code, then I put this like riddle. Basically, you had to look in the book for lines, um, and it said certain phrases attributed to certain numbers. And I looked around for the book, which was in a different part of the kennel, for the numbers that I needed for the code, and it didn't have a waypoint or anything telling you where the stash of gold or materials was. It was just saying, among the dead dogs, because nobody will check there. Um, and I looked around the kennel and I found notes until I got to the stash, and that was a good use because I was just looking at notes and using my own intelligence, not a waypoint, to find things that I wanted to find. But what annoys me is that it has notes everywhere. It has books and notes that you won't even use or you won't even care about. And you know those things you found in Zombie U? That
I'm actually going to talk about that in a bit. Yeah.
That you
The angel chided me. The angel chided me.
You can read those if you want, but you have no use for them, right?
Yeah.
That's basically 90% of the notes in Dishonored.
That's
From what
poopy.
I've played so far.
That's like all the secrets in Doom 3.
Maybe it'll get better as I go on in the game, but yeah, Dishonored's really fun though.
Even though you went on about the shitty part of it.
Yeah, that's just the notes though.
Yeah.
All the rest of the game I like so far.
I forgot to mention something stupid about Doom 3. All of the physics puzzles, or like the weird puzzles that make you like count
That's
to
not
3.
Doom, that's Portal.
It's garbage. Some of Doom 3 is just irredeemable trash. Like, it's weird. But Dishonored sounds fun, and I will play it eventually. I say about a lot of games, but you know. I have also been playing Half-Life 1 for the first time. I never played 1, I played 2.
Been playing that as well. I can't wait to get to 2.
1998 was a big year. Sonic went into 3D. Half-Life came out. Pokemon came out in the States, I think, in 98. Big year. And Half-Life is a big deal for first-person shooters and for a lot of how they're designed, puzzles in first-person shooters. It was Valve's big break.
Yeah, like it's not like most.
I don't know how Valve found the money to run Steam from Half-Life 1, but Half-Life is a good game. Certainly hasn't aged as well as Half-Life 2, but it's pretty cool. I like so in the beginning of the game, there are a lot of moments like this, but in the beginning of the game, I got stuck moving and I was like, what the hell is going on? And then I was raising up slowly and I was like, oh, what? And then I looked up and I saw the thing sucking me in and trying to eat me and I was like, ah! And I started shooting at it frantically, even though you don't get much ammo in Half-Life. So I was just freaking out. There are moments like that in Half-Life all over the place. Half-Life is a very tense game.
Yeah, because I've kind of spoiled the monsters in that game since I've seen them in gameplay.
Yeah.
I was ready for those type of monsters. I still got sucked in by one time and died.
Yeah.
But yeah, what you were talking about with the ammo, there are points in the game where you just feel like you don't have to worry about ammo and you can just breeze through any encounter. And then there's parts where you actually have to stop and consider because there's a stretch of a bunch of encounters and you don't have health, you don't have suit power, you don't have ammo, you just uh, work with what you have until you find another break. And I'm stupid and I don't consider how much ammo I have, so I end up retrying a section a bunch of times until I win. But but yeah, I like Half-Life so far.
Pretty cool. It's a lot more claustrophobic than Half-Life 2. I don't know if I just said that or not, but it's pretty scary. Pretty good game.
I don't understand the story so far though.
Neither do I. I think it's less direct though.
Yeah.
Zombie U. Yeah. So Zombie U is one of the best survival horror games out there. Don't play it on anything other than the Wii U though, because I'll tell you
Because
why.
that's stupid.
The gamepad, looking down at the gamepad is something I gave Star Fox Zero shit for that, but it also, Zombie U is not disorienting like that. Star Fox Zero would fuck up your camera. It would fuck up the way you aim every time you look down at the gamepad. And
Which there wasn't a reason for doing that.
It sucked pee-pee. Like Star Fox Zero had so many shitty design choices that I hated, but Zombie U,
There's a reason for you to look at the gamepad.
whenever you look down, it's to look at your inventory or manage your heart monitor map or whatever it's called. And every time you look down and manage your backpack and loot and stuff,
you can't see.
it's in real time, so you can't see that there are zombies there. And if you hear, you have to stop pretty quickly. You know, it's scary like that.
And if you aren't paying attention and you're focused on your inventory, you will get attacked.
It's way more involved than doing it on like PS4, where I think it brings up a little menu.
Wait, is it just called Zombie?
Mm-hmm. It's like the movies.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's Zombie is pretty cool. It's some people don't like how long it takes to whack people to kill them in that game, the zombies, but I think it's scarier.
It's kind of like the bad aiming in Resi 4, wasn't it?
Old Resident Evils were hard for me to aim. Resi 4, I think. Well, with Resi 4, it's just the controls are stiff for a reason.
Yeah, and that's
the aiming problem is in the older ones, I think.
And the fact that the people take so long to die in Zombie U is for the same purpose.
Yeah, unless you have a shotgun. I just got a shotgun in Zombie U, and it just fucking pops them.
But ammo is also a problem.
Mm-hmm. I fucking built up a lot of shotgun ammo, so I think I'm good. Like, I have like 40 shotgun shells right now. So the shotgun's kind of like my go-to. It's my go-to weapon for pretty much every enemy.
If you use it right, then
I don't know how I got that much ammo, but I did, and I haven't died yet. But when I die, pretty much all of that ammo is gonna be lost because I need it on me at all times. I can't put it in my safe house.
Multiplayer.
Multiplayer is really good too. I think a lot of people love the multiplayer in that game.
It's really fun.
One person manages, I don't know if it's on the other systems, but on Wii U, one person's on the gamepad and spawning zombies, and you can upgrade and get better zombies that like spit, that charge, that explode, and the other player is on the Wii U Pro controller, or if you're like challenged, you can play with the Wii Remote nunchuck. But I used the Pro controller, and that person's trying to survive against the zombies they spawn. Now, there's a survival mode, and then there's one where you have to capture flags before the zombies do. It's fucking insanely fun multiplayer. I don't know if it's on the other systems, and I really don't understand why there isn't an online mode, but it's so good. If you have a friend and you have Zombie U, you will probably be playing that mode for a long time. It's very fun.
Because when you're playing the Survivor, it's fun in the sense that like you're being able to outsmart the zombies even though they're being placed by the other person.
Yeah.
And managing resources. When you run out of ammo though, you're screwed.
Well, there are ammo pickups though.
Yeah. But it's fun when you're playing the Survivor to manage ammo and capture flags and kill zombies. When you're the other person, it's so fun to just feel like you're outsmarting the other person with positioning and all those zombies.
Yeah,
Because
I got so fucking scared by a horde that I turned around and I didn't notice they all spawned a firefighter zombie, so I shot him and I exploded.
yeah, you can
And he
do the most
scared the crap out of me.
the
But
most
that's
stupid strategy.
there's so many fun things in Zombie Use multiplayer that I love.
Because it takes time for zombies to capture flags, and if you play the way in which you just like you spread out all your forces, it's boring, but I'm assuming you would win most of the time.
Yeah.
But when you get a strategy like where you place a fire zombie right in front of a doorway, so you walk into it and then shoot him, it's so fun. It's so satisfying. You don't find it satisfying because you're the one going boom.
Yeah.
You're done now.
Oh no, -1-3. This is gonna be an old meme by the time it comes out on YouTube, but
Big
right
Shack.
now it's still kind of fresh to us. There's nothing wrong with some Big Shack.
Yeah.
Fire in the booth. That's gonna do it for this episode. Thank you guys for pledging on Patreon as per the usual. If you're watching this on YouTube a month late, I still appreciate you guys listening to this because it was a lot of fun to record. And if you like the podcast and if you like my stuff enough, feel free to pledge on Patreon. I think the $3 tier is where you get the podcast as well as my scripts. You get to see
go give my brother money.
Some other stuff, and then the $1 tier you get the Discord role, and you get to see what game, like my in-depth thoughts on games and other media that I've been consuming lately,
and you can
stuff like that.
You can check me out on nothing because I have nothing. You can, but I'm on his Discord server. If you would like to talk to me for whatever reason.
It's one of the Elric brothers. I'm also tugging on the strings of his
You're going
pants.
to rip it. Jesus.
You have some long ass strings on your pants.
No, look. The ring is coming up.
Oops.
You're destroying my clothes.
Sorry. I'll try harder next time.
Okay.
Okay, bye guys.
Thanks for listening.